Hi there, welcome to Hot Kiss at Home. I'm Rita, the high-heeled housewife, and I was cooking brownies earlier today, had this stuff out, greased a pan, thinking that I would have more mix than I did because I don't measure. I was like, well, you know what? Why don't I, since I already have this flex press ready to go, why don't I take the pre-grease pan and some of the supplies that I already had out, and we're just going to make some cornbread. So, cornbread. The recipe calls for 2 1/3 cups of the meal. 1, 2, just a little bit more. I made a mess while I was pouring it in here, so we're probably pretty close to 1/3 cup anyways. Boom. 1 1/4 cups water. 1 egg. And 1/4 cup of oil. And I actually did a crap job breaking the egg. But the oil actually helped me pull out what I lost in shell. So, submerge the blender. Hit the button until the lights come on the bottom. Mix, mix, mix. One of the things that I really appreciated about the Flex Prep Plus was I was able to, during Christmas, change the attachments, make several different baked goods dishes, and I could just keep going. It wasn't a big deal at all. Okay, so now that I have it mixed up, I'm going to sit this right there to make not as big of a mess as I could be making right now. And I want to give you an insider tip on a couple of the secret ingredients that I use. So the first one is cinnamon. I put cinnamon in. The next one is cayenne pepper. I know it sounds crazy, but they balance each other out and makes for the most delicious cornbread. All right, so I'm a terribly messy person. I'm also terribly klutzy. So in order to, especially since this is more liquidy than not, is I pour it into where the oil was, or any other container that has more of a spout. And that way I can get it where I want it and keep it out of where I don't. So I'm super excited for these cute little trays. These are the bites, the donut hole bite trays, and I'm still making a big old mess, by the way. In an earlier video I talked to you about how I grease the whole pan so it's easier to clean up my mess. This is a prime example of why that needs to happen. In an earlier video, I also talked about how I don't generally grease earlier video, I talked about how I don't generally grease Pampered Chef baking pans, the muffins or the brownie pans. I've never found a need to. The recipe for the brownies that I made earlier called for it, and so I did. So I'm interested to see what, if any, difference there is from the greased to the non-greased. I'm anticipating with the greased that the food's just going to fall out of it if I'm not careful. If I trip, I might lose all my little cornbreads here. All right, so we're going to pop this in the oven, 400 degrees for 15 minutes. See you in 15 minutes. Hey, so we were just... Hi, so earlier we were filming and I was talking about spraying the pans versus not spraying the pans. These are two different. This is the brownie pan. This is a donut hole pan. And I did spray both of these pans. So I just want you guys to see... I just pulled it out of the oven. I haven't done anything. You can literally just turn them. I absolutely would have dropped all of these on the floor if I'd have tripped. The spraying combined with the pan, it just gives it this phenomenal ability to come loose. So, wanted to put that little tip out there. You don't have to spray these pans. If you do, the results are remarkable instead of just incredible. And I appreciate your time.